So we have project identification. We have seen what are the external and internal resources, and we studied last class what is the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So this is called SWOT analysis. Okay, what is the meaning of SWOT analysis? We have just analyzed in this, and what are the major things that you are going to consider that is a SWOT analysis in the project selection. So selection of the project, various external factors, internal factors. So we have gone with, and the last class, significance. What is the significance of a project report? We have analyzed. Why do we need a project report? What is the major significance of this project report? We have analyzed it. Here are the contents of the project report. What does the project report should consist of? It consists of a cover page, table of contents, the summary, that is called executive summary, the information such as the form information, the technical plan, manufacturing and operating plan. So still more the continuation, the contents of the project report consist of the management team, organizational plan, project timeline, critical risk and assumptions, social plan, exit strategy, financial plan, conclusion, and usually always a last after conclusion will have an appendix. So this is just a format to remember what should be the contents of a project report consist of. So usually you know what is a cover page. So you, when you have designed a report for a project, the cover page, the contents, cover page may be consist of the logo of a company, you know, with the name of a project, the people who have done that particular project, the surveillance or the guides under which you people have done. So such things will be covered in the covered page, along with the acknowledgement you have, Thanksgiving, and few of the certificates to be issued. Then it might consist of a table of contents. The table of contents are basically the data. Simple, when you open a book, so if you have a topic to be referred, first what you do is you go through the table of contents whether the topic is available or not with respect to the reference, right? Similarly, if you want to look for a vocabulary in the particular book or a report, you have a supportive appendix, right? These are the basic things that report should consist of: appendix, this table of contents, and the cover page. So executive summary is nothing but a abstract. What is executive summary? Executive summary is nothing but a abstract. So executive summary is nothing but a abstract. So the abstract consists of the basic description, right? So overall executive summary of a project, what exactly it does and what is going to be achieved, right? So still more, you have a company information and what does the industry deals with. Such things may be there in the report. Then coming to the other concepts, we may have a technical plan, marketing plan. If it is a concepts on productions and operations management, you have manufacturing and operating plan. Then maybe there is an organizational plan, project timeline, critical risk and assumptions. So even the project should consist of a project timeline. What is the meaning of project timeline and the network analysis? These are all the different phases of the project that is being defined with respect to the time constraint. If it is a 1 year project or a 6 months project, so every, it is the same as if, like, if you give a yearly report, so maybe a quarterly, semi-quarterly, you may have to give the report or the status of the project. Same like, here the project line, in our case, it depends upon the time duration. If it is a 6 months project, every month, what is the timeline, the status of the project has to be achieved, and it has to be shown in the report what had been achieved in these 6 months based on the monthly basis. So that is the called network analysis. And we have critical risk and assumptions. So critical risk and assumptions, because so few of the project that has been implemented, maybe they have used simulators, right? It is not exactly that they have done physically the implementation part. Maybe they have used certain simulations to test the results. So in that case, will have a certain critical risk, in the sense physically when they achieve the project, maybe it may not be comparable with the simulation results. So such risk has to be mentioned clearly in the project report, and few assumptions have definitely have to be made, without which you cannot proceed for execution, right? So some other projects, some other factors that consist of a project report, maybe it is a social plan. The social plan uh, is all about, if you are opening a big firm, so wherein you have a lot of waste that is being coming out in that case, so what should be the strategy to treat with that wastage? So it is called a social plan, and there should be exit strategy. So in the case of project fail, so what should be the strategy to switch over? So that is called a exit strategy. And also we'll have a financial plan. The financial plan basically deals with the capital infrastructure. So that is how do we deal with the uh, so the factors of money and the distribution of a capital around the process. And finally we have a conclusion. The conclusion basically, you know, whether the objective has been achieved or not. So that is going to be discussed in the case of a conclusion. And we'll have a future scope also. We'll have a future scope. Along with the appendix. So as I discussed in the beginning, table of contents, appendix, and abstract. These are the major things and the individual book or individual report should consist of. So coming to the concept formulation of a project report. The formulation of a project report consists of the following steps: general information, project description, market potential, capital cost and source of finance, assessment of working capital requirement, economic and social variables, and project implementation. Project formulation includes the basic these steps. So general information basically consists of the basic introduction part, that is maybe what exactly the functional and non-functional requirement of a particular system all about describes. The project description, basic objective of the particular project on an area or on a domain where it is being existing. Then coming to the market potential, so market potential basically deals with the competitors, the strategies that is going to be implemented in order to deal with the competitors. Next is the capital cost and source of finance. See, we have seen what is the content and what is the formulation. What is the formulation of a project? So next is regarding guidelines by Planning Commission for a project report. What are the few of the guidelines that is being given by the Planning Commission for project report? So let us go through the Planning Commission guidelines for project report preparation. It consists of a basic general information, same as if like the formulation of a project report. So general information here also. The preliminary analysis of the alternatives, the description, marketing plan, capital requirement and the cost, operating requirements and the cost, and the financial analysis. Financial analysis and economic analysis also the part of the Planning Commission guidelines for the project report preparation. So these things have to be elaborated. So these are all the few guidelines that are being executed or being given by the Planning Commission guidelines for how do you prepare, how you should prepare a project report. So errors in the project report. This is the last topic based on this before enterprise resource planning. So what should be the errors in the project report? So absence of what or if scenarios. If there is excessive technical terminology, that is also one of the errors in the project report. Undue optimistic projections. The financial informations which are outdated for comparisons. So these are all the few of the errors in the project report. So you can give the attendance in the chat session, those who have not given the attendance in the chat session. See, avoiding the mention of potential threats and internal weaknesses. That is, if though you have done a project, you need to mention the drawbacks of it. Though you have done a project, that is to overcome few of the things, but ultimately even this project will have a loophole, in the sense that it will have you need to do a SWOT analysis: strength, weaks, opportunities, and the threats. So these has to be analyzed and should be mentioned in the project report. If you avoid what are the strengths, you may mention the strength, right? You may not mention the weakness. So you may have mentioned the opportunities. At the same time, you may not have mentioned the threats. So that time also it would create a problem. So that is also one of the error in the project report. So you are supposed to mention it. Avoiding such things creates a errors in the project report. See, the financial informations maybe have mentioned, but without its full implications, that is also one of the error. So this was all about the guidelines with the planning commission for project report. So we have covered this thing: preparation of a project, meaning of a project, identification, selection. Then we have to start with enterprise resource planning. So maybe we'll start this topic in the coming sessions. What is enterprise resource planning? And we left with the micro and a small enterprise. Okay. So till here we have covered these topics: preparation of project and ERP. So those who have not given the attendance in the chat session can give the attendance in the chat session.